What's up, everybody? Doug here, and I'm recording an intro for this week's episode because we had a slew of technical difficulties in this episode, and basically what happened was we had a few times where the call just completely dropped for no reason, no warning. Uh, so just be on the lookout for that. And then there's excuse me, I had to chill. And then there is one part in particular where I got us back in the room, but forgot to hit record. So like, there's gonna be like a skip where you hear us trying to figure out what's going on, and then the next thing you know is like, oh well, I just realized it's not recording. But all that being said, we've got this week we have we review Beatslayer and the Thaumaturge, which both are incredible games. Um, and honestly, I cannot remember if I did this intro, this little bit of housekeeping in the actual episode, so I'm going to do it right now. May 31st and June 1st, I'm going to be back at the L Bar in LaBerge, 8 p.m. to midnight. It's a fun show. Obviously, you have to be old enough to get into a bar, but it is a free show, and you can come, make your request. Maybe I'll sing your favorite song. Unless your favorite song is "Man, I Feel Like a Woman," then I won't do that. I will absolutely not do that. But I do a lot of things. I do a lot of songs. 4 hours worth, and well, 4 hours minus some breaks. But yeah, so enjoy the episode, guys, and I'll see you next time. Boop. All right, what's up, buddy?
Uh, Waking up. Not really wanting to wake up. The usual.
Yeah, and it's my usual, or I'm leaving work as we speak.
Of course. Funny how our,
Mm.
our schedules are so diametrically opposed.
Yeah, usually when I'm getting to work, you're going to bed.
Yeah, more than likely.
Uh,
Also, I get to change time next Saturday, so that's going to be fun.
so what does that make it later for you? No.
It makes it earlier for me.
Yeah, it makes it earlier for you.
I'm going to hate my
What a
life.
what a what a fun time changes are.
Oh, of course.
I
Such a stupid
actually
idea.
uh one of the founding members of Rooster Teeth started a new podcast with his wife,
Yeah?
and they after he left Rooster Teeth, I think they moved to Scotland. I think that's where they live now. And to keep it's a morning show. They put it out every morning. And to keep the schedule going, they've been waking up an hour earlier every single day. So
Oh, God.
for them, the time change is going to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, but other than that, how was your weekend?
I worked.
Nah, I actually it was Easter weekend, so it was a 3 day weekend for me, and we crossed a an adult milestone. We bought our very first brand new bed. Uh,
Wait,
we used
just
our
now?
Well, we've had a bed, but it was in like an old piece of crap mattress. And
Like, as I said,
uh,
just now?
yeah, this is the first time we bought a new bed.
Wow.
Every time that we've ever owned a mattress or a bed, it has been one that was given to us, or a hand-me-down mattress that we bought from somebody else. And we had a lot left over from our taxes, so we were
Yeah.
like, you know what? If we're gonna buy this new bed, we're gonna go big with it. And we went and we bought a Sleep Number mattress.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, so that comes in like 2 weeks. So I am uh, in 2 weeks. If you try to reach out to me over the weekend, don't, because I'll be asleep. I'll be sleeping on that thing.
Thanks for making me feel like an adult.
Why?
I'm on my third bed.
Oh, no, 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 no. It's just been one of those things where every time that we've had extra money, it was like, oh, we got to pay this bill. We got to do this or that or this.
Yeah, I get it. Like, things get pushed back, whether you want it or not.
Yeah, and I mean, already we bought this mattress and something else came up that we wish we could use that money for. So, like, if we
Ah,
hadn't have bought the mattress over the weekend, then we wouldn't have got it. Period, because we would have done this other thing. Uh, but yeah, so that's something I did over the weekend, and I played uh, one game that was good for review and one game that was very very bad.
and that's the sad part.
So I'm before we get into it, by the time this episode's out, we've got both episodes of bad games that we love that we've recorded so far.
Yeah.
Episode two, episode two is actually doing pretty well. Number like people are already listening to it.
I'm
I
guessing
don't
because
know.
it's a nuclear option.
Yeah, it's the nuclear option. That was the title that came to me as. Oh man, my phone fell. Hold on.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some water real quick. I'll be right back.
well, I can't get to the phone, so it's just gonna have to be down there. Isn't that just a fine? How do you do? Okay, I got it, folks. Okay, now while Leo's gone, I guess I'm just gonna monologue here for a little bit. Uh, it's March. No, it's April. Yesterday was April Fool's Day. How's your April Fool's, everybody? I'm behind somebody that just got married. Oh, I think Leo's back.
I am back. I just wanted to see if I could hear what you were talking about.
I was talking about how April Fool's Day was yesterday.
Oh, yeah,
Uh, So, yeah, that was the nuclear option. That episode is available now. Also, by the time this is live, we have all 8 of the mainline episodes of the Jason Isbell and Review series. You can check those out. Those are only on Spotify because, for now, you can actually listen to the songs that I'm talking about in the episode. So that's a cool thing that you can do. So what I'm going to do here is I've got 2 games to review today, and you've got one as well.
yeah.
So I'm going to get the bad game out of the way first, and then we'll go to your review. Uh,
It sounds good to me.
so this is a game that we got a code for. Press Engine kind of just gives us codes sometimes without us asking for them, and this is one of those games. It's called Mighty Mage, and
Yeah.
I almost forgot about it. And then I loaded up Press Engine. I was like, oh, I've got to review this game. So I downloaded it. It was like 30 megabytes. And that was my first clue that something might be wrong here. Uh, I downloaded the game, and I want you to guess how long it took for me to beat this game.
2 hours?
15 minutes.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Yes, it is a like a vampire, like it's a vampire survivor like game where you are in an arena and you have like a wave of enemies that spawn at you. The difference is the arena, you see all of the arena in about 10 seconds. That's how small it is. The waves are a set amount of enemies, and once you kill all the enemies in that wave, then you get uh, this little break where you can pick an upgrade and then you go on to the next wave. And there's only one playable character, and the only way that each wave is different is that you can pick from 4 different elements. You know, fire, water. I think fire, water, earth, and maybe lightning is the other one.
All right.
And each element had. Oh, are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, it kind of static on my end, so I didn't know I dropped the connection.
Yeah, something happened here too.
So basically, you pick your element, and you can get different spells that basically change up your playstyle as you go. But once you get through 15 waves, the game is over. The run's not over. The game is over. It kicks you back out to the main menu. And it basically says, congratulations, you're a mighty mage. And then it sends you back to the main menu. And the most that you can do in this game is do 4 playthroughs to see the different elements. But they all play so similarly that it's not even worth it.
That just made me sad. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So yeah, you can beat the game in 15 minutes if you really want to be like critically 100%. I mean, technically it would be 45 minutes to do all 4 elements, but there's no reason to do it because they all play almost the exact same. There's nothing graphically impressive here, and something that made me even more mad is the achievements are bugged. So even though you're doing the things that achievements are saying for you to do, you're not getting the achievements.
You don't deserve it, man.
Huh?
It's saved for people who like the game.
But like I talked about this in last week's episode where I reviewed Clean the Sea. That game was short. But to this day, I still don't think they have a price for it. It's free on It's free on mobile, but Clean the Sea had like heart to it, and it had a satisfying gameplay loop. And even though it was only like I think it took me like an hour and a half, maybe to 100% that game,
Yeah.
it was like it gave me all the achievements. I felt good about my game time with it. When the game was over, I was like, wow, that sucked. And it's $2 I think on the Steam page. It's actually on sale for like $1. And
All right.
I can't even recommend that. I can't even recommend you spend $1 on this game because you could spend $5 and get Vampire Survivors and sink like 60 plus hours into that game.
Yeah. Man,
But yeah,
that's a really downer of a
I
game. Not gonna
I
lie.
I was so shocked by how fast the game ended that I went to the Steam page to see if I was wrong and if I missed something, and everybody's like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
But
Look
yeah,
it up now.
so Mighty Mage, don't do it, don't do it, and that is
Just
the
don't.
only time. I think that is the only time in the history of this podcast that I've ever actively said definitively, don't do it, don't buy this game. It is not worth it, and I think that the developer has potential to make something better, but this is just not it. This feels like a afternoon project that they cranked out, and they're like a tech demo of what they could have made at best. So yeah,
Yeah.
that being said, there's nothing more to be said about this game. So I'm going to turn it over to you for your review.
All right. Well, the game I played was the Thaumaturge.
Yes.
It's honestly I got I got the pre-release code. Oh my god, I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed my time with the game. I really couldn't. Like you saw me like playing like day after day,
Yeah.
and just to like give an idea of just story wise, you play as a Thaumaturge. Like basically the way they're explained is basically they're kind of like emotion mages
Hmm.
that have like a little summon creature, this uh demon thing, which supposedly like feeds off like main personal flaw. In which case, our main character Victor's is pride that can do like in combat has certain abilities, and as you level them up, they actually like allow you to like more easily control people like through one of I think like one of the good choices. There's one that feeds on recklessness.
Okay.
So if like you're trying to get a character to do something reckless, if you have enough points in that demon, the you can actually like more easily manipulate people into actually being reckless.
Huh. That's cool.
So like that's how the story interacts with that mechanic. Combat wise, it works like you have you and a summon, and sometimes you have like a friend or something helping you. But the way it is Victor will attack, punch, shoot, depending on like how far away the enemy is, and each attack takes a certain amount of time to do.
Okay.
Like you have a quick punch that like once it gets done, like you can very quickly get back to your next attack. Oh yeah, because something I forgot to mention. It works in a I think you described like Final Fantasy VII when I told you about it, where
Yeah.
it's turn based, but it's also like each turn like takes a certain amount of time.
So it's like an ATB meter.
Yeah, so like stronger attacks obviously take longer to do. Some attacks have like modifiers that make them quicker to do, like depending on certain conditions. Like one character, like one of the demons, like has an attack that does more that activates quicker the lower the HP of the enemy.
Okay.
Yeah, But like each demon has like certain abilities that mix and change in combat that like give you like different just different help, and you can access four at a time. So like I'm like going through the four ones you get like the four you get like relatively early in game, just like cover like the four like different types of demon you see. Uh, the first one like usually is like has attacks that are based on the enemy's HP. The second one does is more about inflicting doing heavy damage and inflicting like I guess you could call it a poison effect, the bleeding effect, like they're
Hmm.
taking damage every turn.
Yeah.
The third one I found was a debuffer, and the third one is more of is like has like a little bit of a luck mechanic where like you can actually make enemies like skip a turn if it goes well. And well, as you play the game, you like level up you get Thaumaturge points, and you can actually use those points to like level up the demons. And as you level up the demons, you actually like get like little buffs you can put into your attacks. Like
Okay.
if I remember right, there was one that's called Perfectionist, where basically like all attacks have a range of like amount of damage they can do. And if you put the perfectionist skill on like an attack, that attack will always do the maximum amount of damage possible.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So as you can see, like the game is very has a lot of little mechanics that are really interesting. Uh, combat is like I said, combat is turn based, and honestly, the story is really damn good. It takes place in pre-revolution Warsaw before
Okay.
they killed. I forgot what was it called? The name of before they killed the royals,
Hmm.
and you even meet Rasputin, who is like every bit as shady as you think he would be. Because
Absolutely, he's got to be.
yeah, I mean historically he's just been known as one of the most shady characters. But it's so weird the way like because like the beginning of the game you go out to meet his to like find his help because he is a miracle worker.
Hmm.
And as you play the game, like yeah, he comes with you to Warsaw. He is your friend. Like he's like something you need to actually like progress the game. But at the same time, it's really weird because you see how so many people get engrossed in him, and you're like, I mean, is this guy really my friend or is he using me? So you're always having that question in your mind.
I think that's cool.
I mean, it is really cool. Like the story is interesting. I don't want to say more about it because I don't want to spoil anything because it is honestly that interest. It is honestly like has like so many twists and turns. I just love it. It's just very interesting.
So
Um,
some. Oh, go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
What I was gonna say is, how is the performance in the game?
The game. Well, I mostly played before the game release, so it was a little bit stuttery at times. From what I noticed after the patches, it seems to have settled down. It's working fine.
Okay, because I think it was before. Yeah, it was like before we got the code. I had looked into it, and the performance was really kind of shoddy, especially on the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, which are my main gaming devices.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna have to look into that in the current in its current build to see if it performs better because this sounds like my kind of game.
I mean, I think you would. I think you would enjoy it. You would definitely enjoy it.
It kind of
Um,
gave me when I was watching like stuff about it. It kind of gave me like Witcher vibes.
it kind of is.
Yeah,
Kind of is. Kind of isn't. Mostly because like you're hunting demons. But I think like it's the biggest like Witcher vibe I can give you.
yeah.
Um, a little bit of like notes I actually put down. Um, this game is doggy certified. You can't pet the dog.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
This game is doggy certified. You can pet the dog.
Okay, that's great. That's all we needed to know about this game. If I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I should have started with that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, right
Okay,
from the
but
get
like,
go, if there's a dog, you got to let me know if you can pet it.
yeah, I mean, it just you just should be able to always.
Yes, you definitely should. Continue.
All right. Something notable for me because I just always turn them on in games is the subs were on by default, and I love that.
Okay, yes. Uh, I actually I love that as well. But there have been a few games that we've gotten codes for that did not have subtitles at all, and that drives me insane.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know I speak the language and I should be able to understand it, but sometimes I'm doing other stuff. I kind of like to have the stops on just for like my own sake, you know.
Well, I mean, not even just that, but a lot of times, I'm playing at night after Emily's gone to bed, so it really helps for a game to have subtitles.
Yeah. Um, something I enjoyed that I just like I had like a big reminder of Sovereign Syndicate as I was doing that. Uh, the interactables, like the normal ones, are like set on by the like are you can see them by default. Like there's a little box in by them, like you can know, like oh yeah, you can interact with this.
Okay, that's great.
Now, yeah. Now, using your powers, you can interact with. Oh, we lost Doug. Ooh. Okay, so let's see if I can continue the story from last time since he's away.
Are you loading up the game right now?
Uh, okay, just sending him a message to let him know he dropped off. Um,
I didn't.
well,
I didn't
as I
drop
was
off.
talking about a long time, well, but basically like a month ago.
Can you
Yeah,
not hear
well,
me?
one time we were at Doug's house. We were driving around the golf carts, and yeah,
I can hear you.
we started goofing around. I started acting like I was going to him, and he kind of just froze. And the way he froze just kind of like gave me so little time to move away that I actually hit him with the golf cart, or like ran like over
Can
him.
you not hear
I
me
have
still?
no idea how he got fine, how he survived that. But goddamn, that's just a little funny story about me and Doug. I don't know if he's gonna hear about that, but let's let's see what happens.
Can you hear me? Dang it.
Not
Yeah,
record. Was it not
yeah.
recording?
It was not recording.
God damn it!
I just noticed that.
All right, so like, question is, how far back was it not recording?
When I came back.
All right, okay. Going back to what I was talking about, the Thaumaturge. Um, yeah. Hidden items are like you can find. Ah, God damn it! This is like the sort of time we have to talk about this. You can like items you can
Third
interact
time's a
with
charm.
are always visible. Yeah, yeah. All surely they are. Surely it is. Yeah. Hidden items are interactable items are always visible. There are hidden items you can interact with. Fuck you. Uh, yeah, there are hidden items you can find with your powers that like basically like when you activate them like either like you get a if it's mission required like you'll see like a little trail of like smoke going towards them or otherwise when you activate your powder like you're near one like you can see like the powder kind of congregate like whatever the item is at the most for like the ones just like in the world like for like side quests you can find because they're not part of anything else. I kind of wish those when you saw them when you were near them, like a sound cue popped up or something, just to like let you know like you're close to one. Okay, good. We're done
Nice.
with that one.
Okay, you got through it. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
I thought about messing with you real quick and being like, would this be a bad time to tell you that we're not recording again?
I would hate you. I would punch you. Uh, a little like other thing like thanks to Sovereign Syndicate that I just enjoyed in that game. That they had like like little descriptions for foreign words. Because every so often, like obviously, like it's a game set in Russia, like they speak Russian, or when you're like You actually like have to like do temples at the Jewish temple. I kind of wish like for like the random words that are like foreign, I wish like would have like little descriptions of what they meant.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, they were like in conversation like real time, so I can kind of understand them not being able to put that.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a when I review the next game, there's a German word I'm gonna have you look up.
okay, I will do it. I will do so. And one last thing, there was a character who speaks Spanish, and he speaks it very well. And I that's one of those things I just enjoy.
Ah, nice.
Yeah,
So,
uh,
final thoughts?
it is an amazing game, and like as I told you, like my main, like the little gripe I had, which is like has nothing to do with like any issue with the game. It's mostly like because something you actually warned me about. Basically, when the game came out, like released publicly, the update kind of voided my save files, and that kind of hurt.
Yeah, and yeah, just so the listeners know, we were provided with save files, a link to save files that were there to help us get back the progress that you lost.
Yeah, my main issue was that yes, I do have those save files, but the way like the way like you have like choices you can make throughout the game, which like they always like say like, oh, this character will remember that remember that. It kind of like made me like, yeah, but like I like my choice is going to be like the same, and that's kind of like what kind of brought me down from actually using the save files.
Yeah, that's fair.
But other than that, like, oh my god, the game is so good. Play it, play it, beat it, complete it, just love it. It's just so good.
Well, to book in this episode, I have got a game that I think is going to be right up your alley. It's called Beatslayer, and we were actually lucky enough to get a physical press kit from them, which we were very thankful for.
Yeah,
Um, it was a physical copy of the game's soundtrack on a cassette. It's the first physical thing that we've gotten from doing the podcast, so it was really cool to get to. Like, my mom walked into my office and she said, "Hey, you've got a package from Germany." I was like, "No, I don't." Like, what are you talking about? I didn't know anything from Germany. And when I looked at it, it said the Night Ride Home podcast on it, and I was like, "Ah, it's the press kit." So
dude, I was when you showed me that, I was like, oh my god, that is like the coolest thing.
it was kind of a surreal moment because we've talked about this a lot of. I
Privately,
don't know. Yeah, I think we've talked about it privately. Like the first podcast that I did, I was trying to get into video game reviews so desperately and so hard, and it just never came to fruition. And it's we're doing something right on this one. We're getting somewhere. And this game is basically if you took Hi-Fi Rush and combined it with Hades. Like, this game is so much like Hades that it's unreal. It's a roguelike where you have to you go through runs. You have to basically have to get through an entire run without dying. And the thing that's different in this one is that you have to stay on beat with the music. And well, I say you have to. You don't have to, but it really helps for you to do that. For every beat that every time that you hit the beat, you get a counter, and the higher the counter, the more damage you do. And this is where I need you to look up a German word. If you could look up the overdrive mode and Beat Slayer, it's like a weird German word. Uh, but yeah, basically you can enter that, and it builds up your ultimate meter. And when you get enough in that ultimate meter, you can use an ultimate attack that does a lot of damage. Um, but basically, you play as Mia, and your goal is to get your brother from this evil corporation that is headed by this guy named Dimitri. No, Dietrich. It's one of those two. Hold on. You know what? I've got the soundtrack in my
yes,
car,
you do.
and it's got a colorful message to the game's antagonist on the back of it. Dietrich. Uh, so yeah, he's got this corporation, and they are blasting this sound that is taking over the brains of everybody that hears it. So the main character and her friends, the crew basically, they keep their headphones on at all times, and they've got music playing, which is the whole crutch of the thing. And yeah, I mean, it's if you've played Hades, there's not a whole lot new in that department. Like you're going through each level until you destroy all the enemies. You get this an item like like you can heal. You can get temporary buffs for your run. I really like the virus buffs that you can get, because like my favorite one was your basic attacks will deal a virus buff, which basically decreases the enemy's health after you hit them, like exponential. Like I could hit an enemy and its health will continue to decrease a certain amount.
All right, all right.
Um, like I said, you've got an ultimate attack that does a really good amount of damage, and you also have a kick where you can it does it's exactly what it sounds like. It kicks enemies away from you and can also stun them. And the one thing that I will say is that it's all robots, but the robots all have a pretty decent variety to them. Like each like new quote unquote level, like not stage. I'm talking about levels. Like when you beat a boss, you go to like a new level kind of, and like the variety changes there. But like all the robots are cool in their own way. The boss fights, like I said in the written review, I only talked about the first boss fight, which is this giant mole robot, and it
Yeah.
was a lot of fun to fight. Like it would drill into the ground, and you had to stay on beat to really get out of its way when it went underground. And it could also fire missiles and summon other robots. This game is just a blast. Um, the When you die, and you will die, um, you go back to this hideout, and in the hideout you've got your other friends. Everybody's fully voiced, which I really appreciated, and you can like in there. There's this guy. I'm blanking on the names, and I don't have a written uh, printout for this, but it's okay. There's a guy that he makes potions that give you buffs for each run. Like there's one that you get a choice of like three potions like every time that you go into the hideout, and you get something like get 2 health points back after each fight, stuff like that. There are actual upgrades where you can increase your maximum amount of health, you can increase your damage, you can get revives for your runs, and these revives carry over for every round. So if you buy 1+ max revives, every time you do a run, you got 1 revive.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
yes, it's very nice. And you get these permanent unlocks by getting experience points, and you get that just from doing runs. And there's also an experience, like a little mission board, and if you do
Yeah.
the missions on the board, you get experience points. That's like a big way to get those. And all this is great. This game's great. The soundtrack's great. Visually, I loved it. Uh, but there are a few problems that I just really need to address. One, there was an issue where after a few hours of gameplay, I had quit out and came back later that day, and I was not able to play the game. Like when I would load in, I would see the character about to drop into the hideout, and the game would just freeze and crash the desktop. Uh, I don't know. I uninstalled and reinstalled the game, and it was fixed. So I don't. If you run into that, that's a possible fix for you. Um, the only other two issues that I had with the game, she has one-liners, and after a while, after like extended gameplay sessions, they get really annoying almost. Um, I didn't care for that. The soundtrack can get a little repetitive as well, because the soundtrack is great, but there's not a whole lot of songs in it. I think the soundtrack in my car, like the cassette, I think it only has 6 tracks on it. And while that's great, and the fact that you can memorize the beat to kind of stay on it, I wish there was more. I really do. And the main issue that I had with the game, and this is the only real negative that I'll ding it for, is that there is not a calibration feature in the game.
Oh.
So um, this is the only game I've ever had this issue with, and I played a lot of rhythm games. If you use wireless earbuds, you will not be able to stay on beat because you're hearing the beat and it's not, there's a delay. So you cannot trust your ears if you're using wireless earbuds. So the second I had to plug in like, when I was playing the game before Emily went to bed last night, I was getting my multiplier like 50 plus every single I started a combo. And after I put in my AirPods, I was not able to get further than 10. And every time that I would get on beat, it was by pure chance. And then I was able to use my musical knowledge to stay on the beat from there. But it was always a luck thing. Like I never successfully hit the beat on purpose. And in the game's defense, they do say on the main menu, hey, there is a latency issue with wireless earbuds. So if you're going to play this game, use wired earbuds. I don't have wired earbuds. That's a problem. Um, but games like Hi-Fi Rush and like the Fortnite's new festival mode, I play those games a lot, and I've used my AirPods for those, and I just never had an issue. So that feels like they should have an audio calibration feature added in, so that when you put in your AirPods, you can do a calibration so that the game can figure out where you're at. I even had that with one of the first reviews we did with I think it was like Headbangers Rhythm Royale. Before the game starts, it has like a little audio calibration. So that's the only thing I can ding it for. But other than that, this is like a fantastic rhythm roguelike game. And if you liked Hades or if you like Hi-Fi Rush, this game perfectly merges those two things, and it's just a really great time.
Yeah. I wanted to just give you a heads up. The game comes out the day after tomorrow.
Yes. Uh,
So like I can't find any like information on the award you wanted me to look up.
it's like a really like I saw it. Whew. There's an overdrive mode that's a weird German word that I can't think of right now. Uh, but yeah, that overdrive mode, when you get into it, it basically it increases your damage even further, and it's like I might record an intro where I'd be like, it's Tanger Snike or something like that. But yeah, so like,
Sounds like a good idea.
can you see the price on the Steam page right now?
I mean, I can, but just remember it's in Chilean peso.
Oh yeah, I always forget that. But yeah,
Also, yeah. Also, it has no price.
it has no price. That's great.
No, like they haven't put the price up for it.
Oh, okay. Well, uh, I would say that this game's worth it. I had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, if you're a fan of Hades, if you're a fan of rhythm games, this is right up your alley. And that takes us to and thank you to all the PR teams that supplied us with the codes for these. Press Engine, Evolve PR was the team, but they got us the codes for the Thaumaturge and Neon Hive. They've been really good to us with the Beatslayer code. And then thank you guys for listening to the episode. We always enjoy making these, and we'll see
Yeah,
you next
thank you
time.
everybody. Because
Hopefully,
honestly,
hopefully
it's
for
I love being able to play all these games.
yes, absolutely. Hopefully, you'll see us next week for Bad Games We Love Part 3.
I'm not gonna lie to you, you're kind of cutting out on my end.